We'll go ahead and get started. My name is Mikiko Muraoka, and today we'll be covering the latest feature enhancements introduced in our application, including a couple of updates to enhance campaign support, updates to position bidding, and several updates to tracking and reporting features. The hope is that with this session, we'll be able to provide you with a base knowledge to start utilizing the newest enhancements within Marin. During this webinar, if there are any questions you would like to ask, please type them in the question bar. Time permitting, we will go ahead and answer some of those questions at the end of the webinar. If we do not get to your questions, please feel free to reach out to your online marketing managers, and they'll be able to follow up with any outstanding questions you may have off of the latest release. Our help section has also been updated with the articles regarding the new features, so we encourage you to use them as a reference as well. And as always, if you do need to drop off at some point during this call, any registrant will receive a webinar recording a day or two after the call. So if there is a reason to drop off, please be confident in the fact that you'll be receiving a webinar recording to watch at your leisure. Great, and we'll get started with our enhanced campaign features today. For many of you out there, I think enhanced campaigns is probably something that is very much on top of mind. So today we'll run you through the updates so far to the Marin interface to support Google's enhanced campaigns. There are many more updates to come in the future, so please either reach out to your account managers or keep an eye out on our release notes, as each release will include something new as Google releases these features into their API. Today we're going to go and look at the single edit options that we now have within our Google settings page. So to get to this, navigate to the Campaigns tab, and then select a Google campaign to either check on or edit the settings for enhanced campaigns. You go ahead and click into a Google campaign, and from there go to the Settings subtab. Once you've reached the Settings subtab, you'll notice a couple of differences and updates within this page. The campaign type has been added, which now has radio buttons for Legacy and Enhanced. Please note that any campaigns that are newly created from Marin's side will be pushed out as Legacy for the time being. If there are any current campaigns that you would like to switch to Enhanced, this is the page that you would do so. In the Settings subtab, you will then click the Enhanced Radio button. And once you save, that will create a job to post into Google to switch this to an enhanced campaign. Conversely, if you create any new campaigns within Google, those will be automatically created as enhanced. You can then sync those into Marin, and the Enhanced Radio button will be clicked when you navigate to the Settings subtab. When a campaign is either already enhanced or you go ahead and select this Enhanced Radio button, you'll notice that the mobile bid adjustment has also populated within this page. The mobile bid adjustment can be set through Marin's interface as either an increase or a decrease. On the AdWords side, this adjustment can be from -100% all the way up to 300%, depending on how much value or how much emphasis you would like to put on your mobile preferred ads. So what that correlates to within Marin is you're able to decrease by 100 or increase up to 300%. So there's a little bit of a difference there between what will show in this setting and what's allowed for Google. So just do keep in mind that it's the same amount, -100 up to 300%. It's just going to be an increase or a decrease within Marin's settings page. The other thing to note here is that once a campaign has been migrated to enhanced campaigns, this cannot be undone. So if you do go ahead and update this through Marin, please do keep that in mind. We do give you the option of keeping these campaigns in legacy settings until Google flips everything over, which is anticipated to happen in June. But if you do switch over to enhanced before then, that setting won't be able to be undone. So please do keep that in mind with these additional settings within your application. A few more feature enhancements that has occurred with this enhanced campaign update within the application is an addition to the grid. So there will be a couple of new headers available for you within the campaign grid and the creatives grid. So if you navigate back to campaigns and go to View Builder, under the settings section, you'll also notice that we now have Google Campaign Type. If you bring in Google Campaign Type within your grid and save, that'll go ahead and bring in this new column, and you'll see that most of these Google campaigns are legacy and they have not been flipped. So under this header, you'll see legacy. Had these campaigns been flipped over to enhanced instead of legacy, it'll read enhanced. So it's a very quick way to see which campaigns you have either flipped over to enhanced or have kept in legacy mode. The additional column that you will also see is within the Creatives tab. So we'll move on to the Creatives tab. And once there, it'll be a very similar navigation where you'll go to View Builder. And then again, bring in a new column. Under the Creatives, what this will do is have a device preference column added to your grid. The device preference column will show you whether the specific ad that is showing in the grid is mobile preferred or desktop. And that way, on Google's side, although they don't guarantee that a mobile preferred ad will always be shown to mobile and vice versa, it gives the likelihood of those ads being showed tabs. You'll be able to see the device preference, and you'll also be able to see the campaign type within the grids. One thing to note here with the enhancements that we've included for enhanced campaigns, with this release, only single edits are being supported. In a future release, bulk editing of the campaign settings to legacy or enhanced will also be supported, so that is definitely upcoming. But for now, you'll have to go in and set those per campaign in the settings page. But as soon as the bulk features are released, that'll be included in our release notes and subsequently added to our next webinar training. The next topic that we'll be covering is Google Sitelinks support within the application. Now, there has been a few updates made with this last release that we'll go over here. And you'll notice, you may have already noticed a couple of updates within your URL builder that speaks straight to Sitelinks. So one of the things that has been updated is the ability to automatically build out tracking URLs for Google Sitelinks based on the settings that you've set in URL Builder. In order to go and see what these settings are, you would navigate to Admin, and then to Revenue, and URL Builder. Up to this point, it's very similar to what the past navigation has been. You will now notice that there is an additional link called Sitelink Settings. If you click that, what it will do is it will open up additional explanations as to what these settings are if you enable to build Sitelinks URL. So you'll see at the bottom of this box there is 2 radio button options: Do Not Build Sitelinks URL and Build Sitelinks URL. So if you activate this, this page will explain what exactly will be added to your Sitelinks URL. If you have, like in this account, set the URL Builder to have the same settings for all publishers, you'll see this is the only thing that you'll see. If you have this in a per publisher, what will happen is you'll see the same Sitelinks option within the Google tab under URL Builder. Sitelinks URL Builder will use what settings you have in either the keyword settings or if you have, in this case, set to have the same settings for all publishers, what your keyword settings are here. So when you do build Sitelinks URLs, what the system is using is what you have in your required parameters or your URL Builder for your keyword settings. And if you were to unclick and go to a per publisher settings, it will use the settings you have in your Google account. And I do, in order to activate to Sitelinks, and click the Build Sitelinks URLs option. In order to see what this looks like in your workflow, once your URL Builder is set up and your Sitelinks option is clicked off, if you navigate back to Campaigns, and we'll just go ahead and select a Google campaign here. The settings for Sitelinks will be under the Add Extension subtab. And in the Extension subtab, you will see the option to view the Sitelinks extensions. There are a couple of options here. You can go ahead and use an existing Sitelinks set, show up under your drop-down here. If you're going to create new Sitelinks for this campaign, you'll be able to do so and also be able to save them for future use under the Use Existing Sitelinks drop-down. The names in that drop-down will be populated off of the name you have assigned to the new Sitelink. So this will be Marin internal referencing for the name and will populate under the drop-down when selecting Use Existing Sitelinks. You'll then go ahead and add the link text, which is what will show on Google side, and then the URL you would like to use for that specific Sitelink. Again, you'll also have the option of adding multiple Sitelinks from this page. So to explain what actually happens here and what the automated URL Builder settings are, once you've set this all up, we'll actually use the copy parameter that the engines provide us with use. And what happens is that copy parameters will be added to your destination URL for your site link. The copy parameter will then pull the correct settings from the keyword that is saved. So all of the tracking parameters from the keyword that actually triggers the site link will be copied over and assigned to that click. What this means is that that keyword that served the site links will then be attributed for the conversion. So you'll not have a conversion tracking on each of the site links. What it is that it will roll up to those keywords. There are a couple of benefits to this, especially on the bidding front. If you are attributing correctly to the keyword the conversions that are happening off of the site link, then being able to bid on those terms through our automated bidding system becomes much more accurate, as that keyword is being attributed with the correct site link conversion. So that would be the setup here. A couple of updates to the support of site links will be coming up through future iterations. For the time being, these are there are a couple of unsupported redirects as well. So if you are a redirect customer, if you're on Marin that do not incorporate the copy parameter well, those solutions can be found in the help section of our application. So please do check if you are a redirect client. The support of multi-edit or bulk edit is not within the application at this time, so they will be single edits through this interface. And again, this is a first iteration, so there'll be much more support going into this feature in the future. The last note is that for now, this URL auto build is only enabled for Google. Bing is being slated as a future enhancement, but for now, this will be a Google-only tool. Okay. The next topic that we'll be moving on to is the update to multi-client reporting that we've done to include client tags. To briefly explain what client tags are, they're very similar to our dimensions feature within the account, but on a Marin account level, so that if you have multiple drop-downs within Marin for, say, a agency, or if you have multiple lines of businesses and you have many Marin accounts, client tags are something that you can set for your accounts to aggregate the data on an account level. And we'll go into how to set those as well. But for the reporting purposes of the client tags, we've gone ahead and updated the feature to be able to pull reports by tag. We've supported cross-client reporting for a while now, but we'll now be able to do it by tag, much similar to how you can report by dimension. So if you navigate, say, to the Channels tab, and you go ahead and go to Create a Report, you'll notice that there is an additional drop-down here, Run In. This client is the default. We assume that you are going to run the report for the client you're looking at first. But if you go ahead and show the drop-down, you can also do all clients in this customer. Now, this account does not have any tags set up on it yet, so there is not additional options to show. But once we go and set up tags and the account refreshes, what will happen is you will see drop-downs that say all clients with this tag. So if you have a region tag, it will show the regions, and so on and so forth. So it'll be very specific to the client tags that you'll be setting within the application for those of you using multiple Marin accounts. And in order to set these, you will go ahead and navigate again to Admin. And then once you go to admin, under the clients subtab, there's going to be an option for you to add those tabs. So through admin, we'll then go to the clients subtab. And once there, if you do have multiple Marin account customer will be listed. Once you're there, what you will be doing is going to the appropriate client and then updating the client tags. So we'll go to the current client that we're in, select that account, and then you will be taken to a page that should look very familiar to you that shows you all of the client accesses, user access for this account. When you scroll to the bottom, you'll notice that there is a section that says client tags. You do also have the option to go ahead and add more custom tags as well. Once you fill this out, the previous drop-down that we saw within the Create Report will populate with the settings you've set here. So you can then go and pull across clients reports specific to the tags you've set. So it gives you a bit more of a granular way to report on your clients through the account level data. Great. And from here, we're going to go ahead and move on to our bidding updates that have been made within the application. The large enhancement that we've made in this release is an update to our position bidding. Position bidding in your trademark terms or keeping certain terms that are very important to your business at the proper position instead of targeting a ROAS or a margin target. The update that we've made to position targeting is that we've rolled out a range target based on what your goal is. So in the past, we've had a set position that you could target. For instance, you would be able to set it to 1.2. Now, to stay within the range you've set for your keywords, there are two places that you can go ahead and set this option. We've now included position targets to the folder settings as well. So if you navigate to bidding and select a folder, you will see an update to the targeting optimization criteria. Position goal is also now included. So if you go into position goal, you'll note that there is now a range available. The range available is between 1 and 10 here, and you can now set a custom range to stay within. If a folder level setting is set, then if you have a lot of brand terms, I would suggest going ahead and mapping it to a single folder and having the folder operate on a position range. In the past, the only way you could do that to do a position-based bidding was to go ahead and set a position override on specific keywords. Now you won't have to set them on a keyword level. You'll be able to go ahead and set them on a folder level. So for large chunks of your terms, for example, your brand, you'll be able to set them at the folder level. If you were targeting any positions in the past in your override settings, you will also notice that if you go and check those settings, it has been switched over to the appropriate range as well. So if you were going for a 1.2 for your brand terms, because you want them on that top position, but we know that reaching a 1.0 is near impossible. The range will be flipped to 1.0 to 1.2. So it's going to be targeting the range in between those. So I'll go ahead and navigate to the keyword side so that you can see where this override, how the override looks now within the keyword settings. A couple of things to note here is that these keywords, regardless of whether you set them in the folder or the keyword level, the way position-based bidding will now work is that will be has been an impression. If there has not, there will not be any bid changes. Our line of thinking is that if there are terms that maybe you have paused since you've set up position bidding, there's no point in going ahead and changing or increasing, decreasing those bids if it has not garnered an impression in the last 7 days. So if you do notice that there are certain keywords that you think should be bid based on the position settings, please do check and see if they are actions. That would be one of the reasons why you may not be any bid changes. What we'll do is we'll the last known position for those keywords that do increase or decrease. So within the keyword tab, what you can do to see the overrides that you may have set in the past is go ahead and select a keyword or super select multiple keywords. Go to the Edit option, the pencil mark on the grid, and then we will be going to the override option. Under the bid override section, you will see that there is a position. This will now be automatically flipped over to a range. One more thing to note, if you do set rules within the folders, all of the rules in the folders page will be observed, including boost, except for position cap. So if you do set a range, we'll go back to the settings in this folder. If you do set a range, all of the rules that you set, except for the position cap, will be used. So that's one thing to kind of keep in mind as well. And if you do have any terms that are either on bid override or on position bidding from the keyword side, as you know, as we had set them up in the past, please note that the folder level settings, including the position targeting, still will be overridden. That is expected behavior. So if you're trying to set up a whole folder to go ahead and use the position bidding on the folder level, do make sure that the position overrides for the keywords have been taken off. We are still treating overrides, as a trump card for the folder settings. But again, for position goals, if you do set the position goals on the folder, bid cap will be adhered to as well. The additional bidding update that we've made is the ability to bid on your PLAs. One thing to kind of point out for this is that if you are able to map your product listing ad campaigns and ad groups within an existing bidding folder as well, but we will not be using data outside of product target historical data to make decisions for those. So again, if you feel more comfortable having them in a separate folder, that's very much possible. But if you would like to go ahead and map them to an existing folder, please note that product listing ads will only use historical product targets data to bid. So search content, any of that data will not be included in any decision making for product listing ads. A couple of notes here is that we do recommend, if you're going to start bidding, is that you have 4 weeks of historical data for these product targets. So if you had just started to use this tool, the product target tool within Marin, please do make sure you have an ample amount of data before we start to flip the switch on automated bidding. On the position side, for product listing ads, position is not passed back to us through Google's API. So position overrides and first page bid settings will not work for product listing ads. So that's just one thing to kind of keep in mind. Anything like product listing ads that we don't get position for, any of our position bid will not work. So this would also go back to the position bidding updates just covered. Things like that are not settings you can set for PLAs. Our bidding is a quick addition. If you go to your bidding tab, there is an additional column now available to target your ROAS and to change them through the bidding grid. In the past, we've supported updating your margin target through the grid. So you were able to go ahead and bring the margin target in and edit from here. But we also offer that for ROAS. They do go hand in hand. So if you were in your folder settings and you set one and you clicked the other, it will automatically calculate and populate. But if you are more comfortable using ROAS, you do now have the option of either updating within the settings page of your folders or going ahead and updating it within the grid. Bring this in through View Builder. If you click on the actual, you'll be able to then update. Next up in our feature enhancements coverage is a Facebook update that we have made. Through our Facebook app support, we have added to track ads that have been being sent to a website, so your actual site. But that ability to track all the way through to the conversion when using a Facebook page has always been a bit difficult. And now it's available for such ads as sponsored stories, sponsored results, and page posts. This feature that I am about to show you will allow you to apply tracking parameters that were, again, normally reserved for external URLs like your website, and make it possible to track ROI through your Facebook pages as well. So in order to see what this now looks like within the application, we'll go ahead and go to a specific Facebook campaign. As a reminder, Facebook campaigns do need to be displayed in this is a requirement on Facebook's side, so you'll have to go ahead and filter for, go ahead and click this Facebook icon, and all of your Facebook accounts will show. Once there, we'll navigate into a campaign and then into the settings page of that campaign. we'll go into a ad and then the settings page to that specific ad. And once we have the settings page for the ad up, a couple of things to show you here is that you'll see for certain creatives, we now have the ability to go ahead and add those URL tags within Marin. So we'll go and do a ads page, and we'll go ahead and select a page. And when you go to sponsored results, you'll now see this box that has optional URL tags. Another area that you would be able to see this in is if you go to, so this is an update that that'll be very useful for those of you targeting a specific page. Shows up here. A couple of things to note. You can either go ahead and manually insert the tracking parameters that you would like added to your Facebook page, or if you have URL Builder configured for Facebook, that will automatically be used. So again, if you do your URL Builder for Facebook, then the optional tagging will be using the URL Builder configuration. If that is not something that you've done and it is not something that you want to do, again, I would suggest building out URL Builder as it cuts down on setup time. You can go ahead and manually add those optional URL tags within the specific ad type as well. So I think that'll be a very good addition to being able to track back to the ROI, back to the conversion for more ad types within your Facebook campaign. Placement section is that page-like ads are being able to be placed right on the newsfeed. So you'll be able to go ahead and select the newsfeed option within the placement section as well. There are a couple of additional updates, a little bit more minor that I'll talk everyone through, and if these are features that you have further questions on, please do feel free to reach out to your online marketing managers. But there are a couple more things that if you are a Facebook-heavy client, you may have noticed. A couple of updates on the audience template. We've removed a couple of the options in there to increase efficiency and eliminate some confusions as they're being supported elsewhere. So things like custom audiences and excluded audiences, connections, friends of connection fields in the templates have been removed so that it's a little bit easier to work with those templates as is. So you'll notice that as well. Those of you using Facebook offers will also notice that only valid offers are now being shown. So it's been cleaned up a little bit there as well. And you do now have the ability to change the creative that's used for your mobile apps installs as well. So a couple of updates here and there made to hopefully increase your efficiency and ease of use within the application on the Facebook side. The next feature that I do want to cover, and we'll cover this briefly due to it being a very specific need for those using Google Analytics to track conversions. If you are using Google Analytics or plan to use Google Analytics as your primary conversion tracker, we have now included that within the application as a wizard. In the past, you've always had to reach out to us in order to set this up. But for conversion through Google Analytics, we've introduced a wizard for you to go ahead and set those up yourself. So if this is something that is of interest to your account, and again, this is for primary conversion types, and not engagement metrics, this is something that you can go ahead and try to set up on your own as well. So if you go ahead and navigate to Admin and Revenue, we'll go to the Revenue Tracking section of this subtab. And many of you may have noticed that it's been updated a bit, even for Marin Tracker. So once you load the revenue tracking page, what you will notice is that there will be an option here for Google Analytics. If you do have Google Analytics and is enabled within your account, what you can do from here is run through a wizard that will prompt you to add our parent account as a viewer, and then it'll step-by-step walk you through setting up your conversion types from Google Analytics to be shown within our application. So if this is something that you're interested in, please do go ahead and try running through it once and follow up with any questions that you may have. So in terms of large enhancers, any large changes that you might notice within the application or additional features, I know that enhanced campaigns is something that is on everyone's minds. Please do keep an eye on future releases and any updates coming out of your account managers or your online marketing managers in terms of our continued support of enhanced campaigns. Again, quick recap, since this is probably the largest topic we're getting questions. We had to support enhanced campaigns. Many of those features are under the campaign settings subtab once you navigate to a campaign. So please feel free to look around there and follow up should you have any further questions. So I'm reviewing a couple of the questions that have been asked during this webinar, and the first thing I will address is whether this webinar will be sent out later. Those of you who are able to join the whole thing, there will be a recording that will be sent out about a day or two after the conclusion of this webinar, and you'll be able to access it at your leisure. So please do feel free to rewatch that you would like to review. And then in terms of campaigns and our ability to do bulk updates, that is definitely on the roadmap. So please keep in tune for that. Our next release is scheduled to come out in April, so if it is part of that release, that will be sent out in those release notes, and you'll then be able to also be trained on it as well. Same thing goes for the mobile bid percentages and the updates from there. There is also a couple of questions regarding the bulk site links feature. Now the only option that we have is to go ahead and do these one at a time. I don't have a solid ETA for when those bulks and auto fixes will be included, but please do keep an eye out as those are being released in the future. Okay. So if there are any further questions, please do feel free to either follow up with your online marketing managers, or if there are any application-related issues that you run into or hindrance to your workflow, please go ahead and file a support ticket as well through our help section. And a member of our support services team will be able to address for joining our webinar today. If there is any issues with your webinars, go ahead and reply to me. If there are any questions that you have, please do feel free to go to your account managers and your online marketing managers for account-specific questions. Okay. And please do expect the link to this recording to be sent out within the next few days. Have a great day, everyone, and please let us know if you have any further questions.